Hello.
Just go live. All right. Dang it. Okay, I will deal with that later. Having a little issue with Twitch.
Oh,
Anywho, welcome everybody to the commentary zone. Um, as you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up just because we asked you to. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and most of all, tell a friend. On the docket today, we're playing catch up because of me, my fault. My Big Fat Fabulous Life, Season 9, Episode 1, Big Fat French Crush, and then Episode 2, From Tutor to Suitor. Uh, okay. Let's, jeez. Let's start with episode 1.
all right.
Oh my God. I'm a little dark today. I've been battling, like trying to fight off a headache since yesterday. It's just simmering, so I'm not gonna put on full light today. So sorry, I'm in the shadows. Um, okay. Whitney moved back to Greensboro.
Which was the right move for her at this point. I really think it's the best move. I, yeah, it's just she wasn't ever comfortable in Charlotte. She didn't like it. So I mean, for her to regain her bearings, I understand moving back home because we can still tell she's still thinking about Chase a little bit and how that just flopped. So she needs support. So I'm okay with her moving back. I mean, and she has a house, so why not?
But she said that she's gotten over Chase. She's moved on.
But she's still talking about him though.
Oh, just saying. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I know. I mean, I know, but she's just like, well, the whole breakup with Chase. I'm like, you're
Uh,
still talking about that? I'm like, okay.
and so now she's like talking about this new Frenchman that she met on a language app. She wanted to learn French, and this was her tutor. And she seems like she's crushing hard.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, don't do this. Like, give
Mhm.
yourself some time. Find someone, like local. When I mean local, I mean on the eastern side of the United States. I'm just saying.
We also get an update on her No BS Active business. She is officially split from, what was the boy's name? Ryan? No,
Ryan, yeah, yeah,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah, she's officially split from him, and now she has um, Jessica, the fitness trainer from Greensboro, on as her partner, and she's even hired Ashley to be the assistant. So it's a 3-woman show now, which I find is like really cool.
It is, but like spoiler, like we saw on Instagram, we saw some posts to where they ain't put up no new content in like a long time. Just saying.
Who didn't put up the content? Ashley and them, or the
Yeah,
old BS? Oh,
I mean, I think it was around the same time. So I'm just like, there hadn't been any updates for months, and this was just a couple of months ago. So, and if we saw these posts a couple months ago, this would be either during or after filming of this season.
mm-hmm.
So if they're saying there's no new content, I'm confused. And
Well,
remember, we saw there was no
mhm.
updates on the No BS Active
Mm-hmm.
Instagram or something. It was weird.
Yeah, and I think this is filming in April of this year because I swore I heard her say April when it came to the shots, the vaccinations with her
Hmm.
parents. So I time stamped it as April,
Okay.
um, and she says that the business is booming and that they have so many subscribers.
Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe my timeline is off, which it
Mm-hmm.
totally could be. But um, like how often are you putting out content?
Mm-hmm.
That's the key thing is the content, and it needs to be pretty much daily.
So okay, I find that in her confessionals and during her season, there's a problem with consistency in what she says and how it sizes up with reality.
Correct.
And that's the kindest way I can put it. But anywho, girl, good for you. Congrats on the business. Congrats on moving back to Greensboro. Um, Buddy, she says she moved back to Greensboro with Buddy and they're supposed to be living together, but Buddy is really living an hour and a half away with some new girl that he's met and he's fallen in love. And so he calls her to stop by and pick up some stuff. But if you still live with Whitney and you pay rent, don't you have a key? And why do you have to call ahead to say that you're stopping by to get stuff?
Excuse me. I mean, exactly. That was kind of weird. I'm like, well, you live there. You're paying rent, so you can just come through.
And if you live with the girl an hour and a half away and it seems like you've been doing this for months, why are you still paying rent at a place that you don't live?
I think it's more the simple fact that he's not sure, like, if it's gonna work out. So Whitney's supposed to just a fallback plan. Just call a thing on that one. That's all that is really, because he's like, okay, like, you know what? I'm in this new relationship, and then he's going off his last relationship, which he didn't last long. So he's like, I'm not going to um put myself in a position to where like we break up and I have no place to go. But my thing is this, sir, why aren't you living in your own space? Because it's just like he's basically like house surfing at this point. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And that's not good because like you moved in with Whitney, yeah, you were trying to be there for Whitney, great, but then you supposed to move with Whitney from Charlotte to Greensboro, but now you moved in pretty much with the new girlfriend. That's not a good pattern of behavior.
I get the feeling like Whitney, like he's only supposed to be there for filming. And then when filming stops, he can go ahead and do whatever he wants. But I think last season and this season he's kind of breaking that unwritten rule. Um and then
Mm.
in episode 2, I found that okay, we'll talk about it in episode 2. Anyway, all right, whatever. The dynamic with their friendship troubles me.
It's very well. He tries to. They're both dependent, but he tries to break free more often than she tries to break free.
Yeah.
And
But
but
she
also,
lures him back in with the money for the show.
yeah, and
Ugh.
she kind of emotionally manipulates him a little bit too. Let's be honest. She like literally will guilt him into staying with her. I'm like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a really big fan of that.
What do you think about what Montana says? Whitney wants everyone to live her life with her and most accommodate her, at least the people still in her life.
They do, because it's a show. It's a chance to be on TV.
Mm,
I'm not gonna be mad at that.
okay.
I just don't like the fact that it's to me it comes across as emotional manipulation.
Okay. We see Whitney and her brother. So love her brother. I didn't realize how much he looked like Glenn.
Right.
Um, Especially, I think it was once he put on the mask and like his eyes and forehead are everything of Glenn. Um, but yeah, the siblings take their parents to go and get their vaccines. Oh my God. And poor Babs falls.
Oof.
That hurt my stomach when I saw that. Oh my God. And then they're trying to cover it up from Whitney.
Right. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like we don't need to tell her. She'll be fine. She'll be okay.
But Babs isn't okay though.
Nope. We'll see
She
that later.
isn't. Yeah. Okay, so they keep the secret for now, and it's okay because Whitney's in the car. Hunter takes the parents in, but she had the seat back, so she didn't see anything that went down. Um, okay, so Whitney is supposed to have like Buddy's supposed to come over and help her put up a piece of furniture, and of course, I guess he forgot, and she has to do it by herself. Kadir. Um, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Anyway, She's planning a party. She wants a
Mm-hmm.
little outdoor thing in the backyard where everybody can come over now that her parents have their vaccines. And she's real excited to plan this. Everybody's going to bring a little something. But you put the most, not irresponsible, but unreliable person to bring the meat to the barbecue.
And the person who lives the furthest away, though, that was the
Mm-hmm.
part that got me. He lives the furthest away, so why would you have him bring the meat? He can bring like the chips or something. Like I'm just saying.
I didn't get that at all, at all, at all. But okay, like it felt like she was setting herself up for failure or for a storyline, one of the two.
One of the two.
Um, and she kept on saying, "I'm not going to say anything, but we have to have a talk. I have to have a talk with Buddy. We need to figure out what's going on here. He's supposed to be living here, but he's not." And but I'm not going to do it at the barbecue, which was code for me. I'm going to do it at the barbecue.
Right. And then my thing is, if you know you're having a barbecue, why isn't the meat already bought in the house in the first place?
And marinating.
Yeah,
Unless they was only doing burgers and hot dogs, you don't need to marinate those. I think we're thinking along the line of a barbecue that you and I would have as opposed to what Whitney does.
gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense because I was looking like you gonna not have the meat already. I'm sorry, like them, like you should have the meat pre-bought, and then them patties should have been made like before everyone got there. I'm sorry.
You're thinking that they're doing homemade patties. I thought they were doing like processed stuff. You go to Costco and you buy in bulk the burgers and the hot dogs and the buns,
Oh, I
and
got you.
everything's like pre-made and separated by
Gotcha.
paper.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were doing. It wasn't like a traditional barbecue like you and I would do. Not that
I
I could
got you.
barbecue, but
No, no, I know, I know. I now I get it. 'Cause I was like,
yeah.
what?
I think we were expecting too much.
Fair.
Yeah. Or expecting on what we consider a real barbecue.
Mhm.
To season they Oh, Jamal, this is directed at you. Thank you, DSJ.
Well, I'm trying. I try to give people every benefit of the doubt.
Oh my god. Let's welcome everybody. Hey Montana. Hey Crazy Cat Mama, you little stalker, you. Hey Larger Curves. Oh, thank you. It's because I have this simmering headache. I can't even take a hair tie in my head, and right now I'm doing everything to keep these glasses on so that I can see. Um, uh, Larger Curves has a greeting for you, Jamal. Um,
I think I saw. I was like, hey, Larger, I'm doing well. I hope you're
yeah.
doing well as well.
Why aren't they holding on to bats? Yeah, like okay. So my mom started tripping over stuff. Like she tripped on sidewalks a couple of times. And the last two times was when I got her out of the car and I was closing the door and trying to get something else out, and she would start walking towards it, the sidewalk, and she would fall. And I have learned that I just need to constantly hold my mother's hand and walk with her.
Mhm.
Maybe this is the beginning of like Babs having a problem with her equilibrium. I was looking
Mm.
at her shoes because I had to like get all flat shoes for my mom because she used to like wearing wedges and stuff like that. All of those went to Goodwill. You just have to modify your behaviors um, as they get older and they have problems, and I learned that the hard way. um I think now they're going to have to like really make a concerted effort to really
Yes.
constantly have a hand on Babs, just in case. You don't want to smother her, but you don't want her falling all the time either. um but that's something that I learned gradually and the hard way. Okay, so it's the party day. Everybody shows up, and again, Buddy's late, and he's bringing the meat. They decide, I guess, to just have the side dishes. Talk of the French teacher comes up. Babs and Glenn are attending too because they got their vaccines. Um, but there's an interesting scene because before the party, Ashley and Heather arrive, and the French teacher calls, and he's really kind of flirty, kind of.
Yes.
I don't know if it was edit or if that was for real, for real. We're not seeing the French teacher at all. He has not agreed to show his image on this show, just his voice. But everyone seems to think that he's really cute, and they confirm that he's flirting with her.
Which is a problem because um, this is jumping ahead, but we have to incorporate what they've shown. So how is it like she's kind of smitten with this man when we'll get to this in episode 2? He's the type of man that she avoids, the type of man who won't acknowledge her in public. Because it's the same. If he doesn't want to be shown on the TV, like he doesn't want, he completely doesn't want his identity known. How is he going to be with you? Because that means he won't want. He doesn't want to be. He won't want to be seen in public with you because you are a reality TV star. So I'm confused.
That's true.
Like, because his face is blurred, everything's blurred. At his request, she's going along with it, and I'm like, why would you go along with this? Why would you go along with someone who you say you're interested in and who you think is interested in you, but they don't want to be seen? That makes no sense. That goes against everything that you said you didn't want out of a guy.
Hey, oh, Excedrin really works. Sorry,
This
Jamal.
guy, no worries.
I'll try it. I'll try it. I've never taken Excedrin. I usually just use Aleve, but I'll try it. Thanks, Montana. Um, offer your arm to older folks, even strangers. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, not another housewife. Welcome. You've never heard of this show? Oh my goodness. Well, welcome to the mess. Not another housewife. This is a debacle of a reality show. It's full of inconsistencies, and we love going through all of them. All right, so I do have to say, Tall brought what I thought was the cutest cupcakes. They were custom cupcakes, and I love them. They look like the most appetizing thing that was there. Let's see. Oh, I didn't realize that Whitney was hiding this relationship from her parents, and then Ashley outed it. Can we call this a
Right.
relationship, though?
Yeah, I wouldn't call this a relationship. It's more like a little flirtatious banter. That's pretty much all it really is.
Okay.
But then I
Um,
do like the fact that when he's like, "Oh, I think I'm in love" or something, it
yeah,
was
she was
either Ashley,
already in love.
it was Ashley or Heather was like, "No, no, no, you're not. Stop it. Don't do it. Have fun, but don't be doing all this. It's too soon."
Yeah, it's I thought that Ashley was going back and forth. Like Ashley was like, I'm glad that she's smiling again, and just like not so focused on the Chase situation, right?
Yes.
And but I think she's like doubtful because it's now a virtual relationship with someone in Paris. And then who is the biggest critic? Todd's the dancer guy, her dance partner.
Yes. I'm like Team
He
Todd right
was
now. Right now, I'm Team Todd.
whoa.
I'm
He
very,
was like
I'm
no.
very Team Friends. I'm very. It's rare I'm Team Friends, but I'm Team
Mhm.
Todd in this situation.
We haven't heard Tal's opinion yet.
Nor do
I
we care.
Shush, it might be different this season.
He can go.
You just don't like Tal at all.
I don't
Not
because
not even with the custom cupcakes.
no, because you talk a whole lot of mess behind people's back, but when they're sitting in front of you, ain't got nothing to say. No, like no.
Okay. So Buddy finally arrives with the meat. but Heather's already left. People are just hungry.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he goes straight to the barbecue, which I guess has been on for quite some time. And he quickly cooks up some hot dogs. Let's hope that he fully cooks them and
Yes.
gives them to everybody. And she is just aggravated because she knew she had to talk to him with regards to the living situation and
Mm-hmm.
this life plan that she keeps on referencing. But because he was late and he supposedly knew how important this event was for her, and he had the meat, and everybody was hungry, like it was like a pile on. So this is where we see the start of her agitated rant.
Yeah, I mean, I understand her being upset, but it's her own fault for trusting the person who was the furthest away with the meat. Still, I'm still gonna go with that.
Is it
Um,
really about the meat though?
no, she's just mad because basically she has no man, and her emotional support's not there. Buddy's out there doing his thing, living his best life, and she's stuck at home by herself. And that's no one's fault but her own because you move back to Greensboro to be near your support system. So there's no reason why you guys shouldn't be going out, even in mass to go. Just go to coffee shops. Go take walks in the park. Go shopping. You just be social. You don't have to be stuck at the house all the time. Come on now.
I don't understand. She wants him to acknowledge that they made a life plan and she feels ignored. Are you his girlfriend? Like that just seems a little bit more attached than just a friend. Like maybe it's because I don't have a relationship like with Buddy. This just feels weird.
She's much more dependent on him than he is on her.
Oof.
Like she'll say she's happy for him in his relationships, but she's only happy for him when it doesn't infringe on her expectations of him.
Child, but
Like
she laid into him though.
she expects the girlfriend and him to understand that y'all can have your relationship that's cute, but when I need you, buddy, you need to be there. So when I text you, you need to be texting me right back because it could be really important. I might need you to open a paste picante jar of sauce for me or something.
I noticed this as well. Montana says she's paying him and hasn't learned a lick of French. I was very disappointed in like Babs knew more French, from college days than what's your name? Whitney. Like, okay, so you know how we accuse Kenya Moore of buying men? Is this what Whitney does?
I
It
mean,
it feels like it.
I,
Buddy, Chase, now
yeah,
Frenchie.
yeah. She's paying. Well, she's paying for them, and she's paying for French in a different way. I mean, this is just sad. I'm sorry, and I actually root for her too. And that's the cold part. I do root for Whitney because of what I see as potential. But if she's gonna keep running around making the same mistakes, I can't roll with her.
Hey, just chat. Welcome, welcome. And Montana said they had tons of food without the meat. Plus, she said we had a life plan. Does that mean he can't live his own life? She is selfish. Yeah, I want to know the details of this life plan because you could have an individual life plan, you could have it as a couple, but Buddy's not a couple with her.
And they're not 40 yet. Because remember,
Okay.
they made a pizza pact remember on the
That's
little
some
on
BS. Don't even
but
bring up that foolishness. Don't bring up that was not for real. That was not for real. Sorry.
the pizza pact wasn't real.
No, that was storyline. I don't
Oh,
care. Like this, you expecting too much from your friend. If your friend is finding a
mhm,
girlfriend, let
mhm.
him live his life. You are almost 40. You can't live on your own. What is your problem? If the problem is his mail, that you take the time to sort, when I would like fuck all of that into a garbage bag and tell him, come and get your stuff. or I'm gonna do a yard sale. Like, you need to be like really frank. Your house is not the dumping ground for his crap, and stop accepting his rent if he's not there.
Yeah, that's the thing. My thing is this. I'm sorry. If how can I put this? If I felt that kind of way, then I would, you know, just I don't know. I mean, if you pay half my rent, I can't really be that mad at you.
Is he paying half the rent though, or is it being deducted out of his salary?
You know, he probably not paying no rent. She let him live in there for free for just for the show. In my opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Just
And
saying.
yes, I agree with Montana here. Life plans change, right? And I do agree with that. But I don't think you could have a life plan with someone who clearly don't really want to be in your life.
It's not that, but he wants to be able to live his best life too. That's what really what it is.
Here's the thing. I get the feeling that if she didn't have this show and he wasn't on it, like, she would never see Buddy.
I got
Buddy's
you.
one of these kind of guys that when he finds a girl, it's like 1,000% in, and he forget everybody else. And then 3 weeks later, when it's broken up, then he come back looking for his friends because he need a place to stay.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't. Buddy need to straighten himself out. Okay, so let's go on to episode 2, from Tutor to Suitor. Whitney and Hunter, it's now their time to go and get their shots. I had a huge problem with this episode. You know, you're going to get a vaccine. I went to get my vaccines and I dressed appropriately so
Right.
that I had on a sweater, but I took off my sweater and then I pulled up my t-shirt so that they could, jab me. Why did you wear a sweatshirt so that you would have to pull that over your arm and expose yourself so that we could all see it? I get irritated every time she exposes herself on this show.
I
Irritated.
mean, 'cause it tells you in the directions to wear a short sleeve shirt.
Hunter did. Hunter had on his zip up sweater and he took off the side and he had on a t-shirt. Why she couldn't do that?
You know what? She's being dramatic. That's all.
Seriously. Ugh. Okay, so they get their shots. Let's see. Oh, this is where, okay, so when Ashley comes over to do some business, we find out that her parents are coming over and her mom is going to sit in on one of her French lessons just to check out this guy. I still can't figure out what side, like how Ashley really feels about this.
Mm-hmm.
But Ashley also gets an email from this lady who's doing a big girls trip or retreat, and she's invited Whitney to come along. So that's where we get the beginnings of that. They go over what happened at the party, and Whitney admits that she might have been saltier than she meant to be with regards to Buddy. So again, it is the repeating of the storyline and Whitney living in regrets. So she wants to schedule another time to talk with Buddy to discuss the issue.
Yeah, she's being over dramatic for no reason.
Because I'm sure Buddy doesn't really care. And he says so. He's like, I pay my rent on time.
Yeah.
Buddy don't care. Okay, so we see Glenn bring over Babs. He leaves. Babs and Whitney sit down for her lesson. And the Frenchman is very suave. And he talks to Barbara and Whitney. And yeah, Babs know more French than Whitney. Great investment, Whitney.
Right. That's the thing. I was like, that's still, but the way Whitney was like, oh, she took French in college a long time ago. I'm like, really? Okay. But then like, Bab still had it. I'm like, see, Whitney, like Bab may have taken French a long time ago in college, but she still knows more French than you.
Mm-hmm. And Leslie D brings up a good point. Is Buddy not her safety net to avoid ending up alone? And yeah, but I don't think Buddy is still down with that plan because he seemed very hesitant when they were doing the pizza pat.
Well, yeah, he's more like, I think in his mind he's going after more realistic prospects. So he's not really trying to like be down with the pack like that. Like Whitney, like he took it as like a fun thing, like if it happens like that, cool, fine, whatever. But Whitney's taking it to like, no, you gonna be here emotionally for me just in case things don't work out. Like she wants him committed, like pretty much all the way committed to her, like already, and they still have time on the pact.
Yeah, that's not fair though. That's
No,
not fair. And I agree with you 100%, Montana. Whitney likes to show off her body. No reason for that. I mean, she can do it.
yeah,
We just don't need to film it. We've seen it. We got it. We're good.
body positivity.
Yeah, and I'm very positive that I don't need to see it anymore. Um, and Buddy wants to live his best life.
Yeah,
Okay.
Buddy wants to like he's like Buddy looking at it like this. Okay, we have the pact, we're set, but I can still live my best life and try to go for mine. And instead of her following his lead, she's complaining about it,
But
and I
here's
think
the
that's what's
thing.
frustrating.
But here's the thing. And here's where I have a problem with it. I thought, like, okay, like you said in your comment, if they aren't married by the time she's 40, then it kicks in. So she's allowed to go and have relationships, but Buddy isn't.
I mean, she had a whole engagement during the pact though, because
And that's why I
remember,
feel it's like one
yeah,
sided.
yeah.
Oh, jeez. Montana says Buddy was never down with that pack. I'm kind of edging towards Montana on this. I think it's
I'm
all for the show.
I think it's all for the show, and he did sign the pizza box, granted, and it's a contract. So Whitney, Whitney just wants Buddy right now because she ain't got nobody else. That's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much all it really is. Because if she had somebody, she wouldn't notice if Buddy was there or not. Let's be honest.
Let's ask a question. I want to ask a question. Is Buddy his government name?
It's probably like Bernard or something.
And if he signed it as Buddy, then that's not valid.
Yes, it is.
Nuh-uh.
Depending on your state. So the reason why it would be valid because Buddy is his professional name on the show. So you can sign your name as like he can sign it as his government name or his professional name.
Mm, mm, mm. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. I think she expects way too much
Yes.
and yet doesn't reciprocate. Sorry.
Oh yeah, if I were Buddy, I wouldn't go by this name. No offense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, though Buddy almost exclusively goes by his nickname. His full name is Luby Francis Bell III.
Luby?
Yeah, I'm here for Buddy.
That's cute. You know that's an old family
That's
name.
that's an
Oh my
old family
god.
name.
All right. So we go through that. We see that Whitney and Todd are trying to get back their dancing thing together, but she's trying to do it online, like subscriptions, similar to No BS Active.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, she's not doing it if they don't get like members.
Right. If it's not financially viable, and I get it. And when she said we have to offer a la carte, I agree. You just have to do it. People have to buy classes and sign up. That's all. That's the way it works.
out when they okay, so I love to see her and Todd dance. So when they were dancing in the parking lot, I was like, that's what, like I remember the old dance classes that they used to have. And those were fun for me. But then when she started lying down on the floor, I just got the heebie jeebies. Like, isn't that asphalt like really hot? And your skin, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I mean, if I fell, it's one thing, but to purposely lie down
Shut
on
up.
the
You,
parking
you,
lot,
you said if I fell, it's one thing.
yeah.
No, I got you though.
Okay, whatever.
But I hope they do it. But I hope they put some time into the routines. I
Well,
really
they
do.
used to. They used to. I thought,
I mean, they were just goofing around here, so that's fine. I'm like, I hope y'all,
yeah,
if you're gonna do it, please do it well.
yeah. Let's see. Leslie D says, at one time I thought that Whitney and Buddy would end up the aging Belle and her equally aged male caretaker trope, like in Driving Miss Daisy or Sunset Boulevard. You know what? I thought so too. I thought so too. I thought that they would wind up together,
Yeah,
and like sit in like matching rocking chairs on the front porch.
I really thought what they were gonna. Here's what I wanted. I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were going to just wind up being together
Mhm.
and letting it go. But I think she wants kids. I think she wants kids, and that's the problem.
Oh, and he doesn't?
I don't think he wants. He doesn't give me like I want kids vibe.
See, I think Buddy changed a lot when he had his addiction problems. He changed a lot. I just don't think he's that into her. And so why would you want kids with somebody that you're not that into?
Exactly.
Now, if he had a girlfriend or a wife that he was really serious about, I think he might want kids.
Okay.
But I think he'll have a problem with the responsibility of having children.
Right. Kids ain't no joke.
So that's my thing. I just don't think he wants kids or that level of relationship or responsibility with Whitney. And like again, Whitney, read the room. It's great to make these pacts with someone, but I think that person should be as willing as you are.
Yes. And you need to give people the space they need to so they can find their happiness too.
Mhm. Mhm.
She's like I said, I root for her personally, but I can see she has those little selfish tendencies that she wants things in her way, done her way on her
Mhm.
time.
Mhm. Okay. Um Whitney and Buddy meet at the park. She tells them about the Frenchman. It's like she tells everybody about this tutor. Um, Buddy thinks that Whitney's being passive aggressive with him.
And I agree.
He says he pays his rent on time, so what does she care? And it's a pretty expensive storage unit. Ouch.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't quite understand. Okay, Whitney wanted to have this get together with him to talk about what it is that they're doing. I don't think they accomplished that because in the end, he's still not living with you. He's still got all his crap at your house. So what have you accomplished? And he still hasn't guaranteed that he's going to set aside time to spend with you because you know why? He's building a life an hour and a half away.
Right. Now, but what did you think about her throwing him out though?
I think it should have been done before the season started.
But do you think okay, he's done nothing wrong, and
Right. But if she relies on a roommate, okay,
how's
because
she relying on him though?
No. What I'm saying is, it like that room. I'm sorry, but if it's just collecting his mail, and his crap is dumped there, but he's not there, I don't want that in my house. Go get a storage unit. This is not your PO box. Get one at the post office. I think she should sever ties. Y'all are old enough. And didn't she have another roommate that wasn't on the show in that house? It was that roommate, Buddy, and her living there.
Hmm.
So
But
if you can make money off of renting out Buddy's room and actually have someone in the house, if you are so desperate for companionship, do that.
I just disagree because he's done nothing wrong. He's paying his rent, and you're just mad that he's not spending time with you. That's a stupid reason to kick somebody out in the way she did it.
The way she did it was wrong. I think she saved it to have a storyline on the show. That's why I was saying I would have done it before the show started, because you see all of the renovations and redecorating that she did to the house. That would have been part of my redecoration and renovating plan. Buddy, you need to come and pick up your stuff and move it to a storage unit because I'm cleaning out this room to redo it. That's
That's
how I
good,
would have handled it.
right? But my whole thing is, I'm going back to the premise. Is like, why kick him out? Like, you have no valid reason to kick him out.
He
Like,
don't live
no,
there.
but he's paying. If he's paying rent,
Save your
you.
money, buddy.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like, no, I disagree with her kicking him out because
No.
she's only
She,
kicking him out because she's mad. That's it. That's dumb. It's petulant. It's
uh-huh.
ridiculous. And no, she
But
had
it's her
no.
house.
But you don't just kick people out like that though.
Yeah, you
Like
do.
I don't. I would never do that.
If you
Especially
don't live here, I don't care whether you're paying your rent or not. If you don't live here, you live an hour and a half away, you don't check in, nothing. I'm collecting your mail and sorting shit. No, I think our time has come to an end. You're living with your girlfriend now. Please come and collect your stuff. You know, it's been great. We'll see you at the next barbecue. No need to pay any more rent once you come and collect your stuff. You can use that money towards your new place.
what I would do, I would be extremely petty, and you would have to evict me.
Do they even have? Oh, so he probably has squatters' rights if he doesn't have an agreement. But with Glenn
Correct.
there, I'm sure that they have an agreement. Honestly, it's what's the point of him being there? Again, you're not a storage facility.
But the only
He,
reason she's if he were there, so if he were there, it would be fine.
yeah, because if he was actually living in the room and paying his rent, fine.
But he's paying the rent. That's the thing.
No,
You
but here's
can't.
the thing. Okay, so he's paying the rent, but notice she said past due notices. He has
Okay.
he has bills that he's not paying. So how
Okay. That's.
long is it before he's not paying her rent?
But then you kick him out at that point.
No, there's no need for him to be there. There really isn't. You have a life elsewhere.
It
Are
sounds like
you
this is
not
brand new
paying?
though. But here's the problem.
It's 4 months. This is a record for Buddy.
Yeah.
She handled it badly. I agree with that. But I would not have somebody storing their stuff at my house. I just wouldn't.
So you agree with the okay? So
How she
the
handled
sole
it was
fact.
dead wrong. How she
So the
handled
sole
it was
fact.
dead wrong.
So the sole fact that he's not living there is
Hmm.
the reason why you would kick him out. But I'm gonna like play devil's advocate again on this one. So are you going to tell me? Because let's look at a landlord tenant situation, which is basically
Hmm.
how she's feeling. There are people who rent apartments who do not live in their apartments maybe a month or two at a time, but they're still allowed to keep their things there. What's the difference? There's no difference. There's no difference.
I
She's just
just don't
mad
care.
because he's not there.
Yeah, and I agree with her.
Mm-mm.
If I don't
No,
want you here, I can break the tenant agreement and I
but
can
she
pay
wants him
you
there
out.
though.
There
But
you
she wants
go.
him there though. That's the thing. She wants him there.
But
That's why
she's
she's
not going to
mad.
get him there. And if we're talking about legalities, I would break the lease and pay him out. There you go.
Oh, you can't. Oh, you just cash him out.
Cash him out. I'm a baller. I'm Whitney. If we're going to go with legalities and I don't want you in my house, I'm going to break the lease and I'll pay you out the rest of the lease. And that'll help you go and get the movers to take your stuff out. She was stupid for having him move back into the house to begin with. Because I bet you anything he met that girl while he was in, what was the other city they were in? Charleston?
Charlotte.
No, Charlotte.
Charlotte.
I bet he met the girl from up there.
But he said, but it's funny. She's like, he made all these plans and everything, and then he met her like 11 days later. She said that it was 11 days. So he was spending his time with her while she had to finish packing up the house in Charlotte.
Oh, Toya's got a good point here. Kind of think if he was showing her attention, then she wouldn't be mad. Only because he has always not stayed there consistently. I think she wanted him there for her emotional reasons only. Yes, it is true. I agree with this. And if he is not meeting the terms of their life plan or their agreement, he has broken it. So she can remove Buddy and get another dog or cat or what have you.
You said he didn't broke the emotional contract so he can be kicked out. That's just
Again, this all boils down to storyline and it's aggravating. It's
Oh,
aggravating.
so you just want Buddy kicked out so this storyline can be dead. That's all. That's just admit
Correct.
it.
What use does Buddy serve on this show besides being late and unreliable? She got her French man now. We can watch that debacle and fall apart.
Okay, there we go.
And then you bring Buddy back as the emotional support friend.
I like Buddy is not a service cat. I'm just saying.
She treat him like one.
True. But
it's there you go.
But it's very interesting that she's behaving this way. Like we've seen her over the years, but for her to be this petty and petulant is just annoying.
Let's just call a thing a thing. If Frenchie was here in the United States, Buddy would be death. But she only see Frenchie
Not really.
a few times. When she had Chase,
Buddy
she picked
was
up
still
and
there.
moved cities. She moved cities and left Buddy behind.
But Buddy wound up coming there with her though. See,
when it all fell apart.
Well, no, it didn't fall apart. I mean, Buddy was still there because Chase would make little digs, and then Buddy would make little digs too. So Buddy was always there. But see, the thing with Buddy is he let Whitney do her thing. Whitney's not letting him just do his thing. But also, Buddy's house serpent too. So I kind of get it, you know. So I'm not gonna sit here and judge him too harshly because he is house surfing. But when you put yourself at the mercy of someone else, these things are gonna happen. So I can't not hold Buddy somewhat accountable because you put yourself at the mercy of this person instead of just having your own apartment.
Montana says, is she fulfilling the emotional contract if she's involved with Frenchie? Do we know what Buddy has requested from this pizza contract?
You know what? I think it was all Whitney making the demands, to be honest.
And that's why he should have never signed that.
Yeah. Agreed. Oh, Toya has a do you guys think that she never thought Buddy would have a girlfriend? To me, act like he betrayed her, and so she acts up. I mean, I really think that she thought what would happen is they would move together to back to Greensboro, and he would like literally be there for her until she met somebody else. But what happened is he met somebody else before they moved back to Greensboro. I think that's the main problem.
You remember last season when he had the 28-day romance with that girl, and they took
Mhm.
her to the lake house, I think.
Right. Mhm.
She was behaving the same way. Buddy
Mm.
cannot have a life. It's all about her. And quite
Mm.
honestly, Buddy, I don't know why you're sticking around, why you're accepting this. She doesn't put those same demands on any of her other friends. Like, seriously? Cut the navel string, Buddy. Cut it yourself and just go off. Take the leap. Sink or swim. You have some
Mm.
funds from this show. If your relationship doesn't work out, you can go and get an apartment.
Mhm.
Stop couch surfing or apartment surfing or whatever it is, friend surfing. Maybe this will help you keep a real relationship and not get these fly by night things where you fall in love after 1 week. Stop it. Grow
Mhm.
up, Buddy. And she's just a user. I'm sorry.
Like he just needs to have a man around. It seems like.
Okay, Montana also says contract have to have mutual benefit or not legal. And nobody can figure out what it is other than a place to squat that she offers to Buddy.
That's fair.
Hey,
Totally
Paranormal
fair.
Witch, I hope, oh my God, I hope the kids are okay. Focus on the kids, Paranormal. Keep us updated. Are you forgetting she forbade Buddy to touch her and skipped out on Buddy's improv night, among other things, when she thought she was getting a life with
That's true. That's true.
everything
Like
is
it.
about her. And I
Mhm.
think that cripples Buddy trying to actually mature and deal with life as an adult and not as a frat boy.
I think I will say this.
Mhm.
Buddy made the cardinal mistake of moving in with Whitney in the very first place. It should have just him having his own place, then him spending a night or two at his place. Because if I recall correctly, last season he was paying rent on an apartment somewhere, but the apartment was the apartment in Greensboro
I don't think so. Because
because he
remember, he
said,
didn't even want to come back to Greensboro because it had bad memories for him.
but he's paying rent somewhere. I distinctly remember that he's paying rent somewhere, and
Wasn't it near the rehab place?
what? Because he said he's paying rent, and she said like,
Mhm.
well, there's no point in you paying rent someplace else when you can just stay here. So that's how he wound up with Whitney. And
Mhm.
he said, okay, fine. She needs me. It's no problem. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I think it was in the end. I think it was a mistake. I really do.
So why pay rent somewhere else but to pay rent with her?
But he's probably staying with the old girlfriend for free.
Okay. Yeah, she's very disrespectful. She kind of acts like he's beneath her, but trying to keep him nearby until she wants or needs him. I agree with you, Toya.
Mm-hmm.
It's very selfish. Um, Whitney would breathe better if she pulled her head out of navel. Yeah. And Toya says, I think he had a place but was living with her because she wanted him there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because
Hmm.
mm-hmm. Why pay continue to pay rent when you can just move in here with me?
Yeah,
Because she wanted someone to ride out the pandemic with.
right. And she was going through an emotional situation last year. Um, she had the medical scares where she wound up in the hospital once or twice. And I think once Babs left, like I don't think Whitney does good on her own. Like she can't be alone. So I think that's where Buddy and all these friends come in. Paranormal says, I think Whitney expects a lot from Buddy. She doesn't understand that he has his own life too. She thinks he has to be on her call every time she has a problem. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think what really messed them up was the fact that Buddy was her sole support in Charlotte because everyone else is in Greensboro. I think had she not moved to Charlotte, this wouldn't have come to a head. To be completely honest, because when
Listen,
he moved in with her, he was like her sole support. I mean, and that's too much pressure for anyone, in my opinion.
but Buddy's the only one without like a job and a career, it seems, because everybody else is working, has families, has relationships, has settled down, and has roots. They have responsibilities.
Hmm.
And Buddy's the only one that doesn't seem to, because the last job I think he had was the bartender gig. I don't hear Buddy talk about working.
True.
And he might very well have a job, but he doesn't
Right.
talk about it. And he seems to be the most agile because, like you said, he goes from place to place. He doesn't have any roots, doesn't have any responsibilities. Um, I don't think it's fair though.
It's not.
And Buddy has played into that.
He's made himself too accessible. That's pretty much what it is. And now that he's trying to break away, she's mad. She's all because she's looking at it like, well, you've always been here for me. What's wrong
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Okay, so are we going to watch the rest of the season?
I just want to see how this plays out with the Frenchman because him not being on camera is a telling sign for me. I just want to see how this plays out. Are they just going to blur him out the whole season, or is he just not going to show up?
But if they're not really in a relationship and y'all are using, like, are they using the Tutor app, or are they using like personal apps to talk?
I have no clue. If she said it was an app that she met him on.
Right.
So it has to be a personal app. Or do you mean how do they communicate outside of the show?
Right, because like my thing is, if they're communicating on the Tutor app and so she's paying him for his time, then I don't think unless you get the permission of the Tutor app to film it, I don't think that can work. So if they're on WhatsApp, that's personal.
Hmm.
And I get what you're saying, that he doesn't want to show his face. Um but is it because he doesn't think they're in a real relationship?
But I'm sure he knows how this is playing out, or how this is being portrayed. I'll put it this way.
Or what if they can't compensate him for his appearance on the show? So he's like, well, if you can't compensate me, then you can't show me.
Hmm. But okay, but if Whitney says this is my dude, like you gonna make sure your significant other's compensated somehow. Sorry.
Oh, yes, this is a good thing. And one of her friends brought this up. The last boyfriend to be blurred out was Avi, and we all know how that turned out. He was a scammer, right? Because like that's how she met a couple of like the other girlfriends that he was scamming.
Hmm.
Um, how could Buddy have a job if he is at Whitney's beck and call? True, but
True.
Buddy should want to have a job. He used to work. Mm. Anywho, I don't know. Anywho,
This is gonna be an interesting season.
yeah,
It'll probably be a train wreck as usual, but it's still interesting.
I think I'll be really frustrated with myself by the time the season ends, but whatever. I'll watch again tonight. We'll meet back here next week and we'll discuss all the shenanigans. Tomorrow's prison day. So join us tomorrow for Life After Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. Do you know that this is still season 3 of Love After Lockup?
I know. Episode what 42 or something.
I thought that was a mistake when I went to go and look it up. It's episode 45.
Episode 45. Okay.
Oh my
It's
god.
interesting how they put these into season. I'm like, huh?
I'm so confused. Oh my god. He can't bartend with his addiction. Oh. Then okay. But he could still work. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's Buddy. That's on Buddy. It's working
Pretty
for
much.
him, I guess. So, guys, join us here tomorrow for Life After Lockup, where we'll all be in prison again, and we'll discuss the shenanigans of that mess. Buddy needs a real job. I agree
Yes.
with you, Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. He doesn't have to be a bartender. There's other things that he can do. There's trade school, um, accountability. Yep. Yep. I think he's been sucked into this thing with the TV show, and he skates by on this. Good for him. So if you want us to continue watching My Big Fat Fabulous Life, let us know in the comments. If you don't, we can find something else to watch for you. Leave suggestions for other shows if you don't want us to do this show. We read all the comments and we'll go by what you want to do. But yeah, I'm watching episode 3 tonight. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, this is gonna be a train wreck. That's all. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm watching it, it's gonna be a train wreck. You could see it like when the first episode when they said he was gonna be blurred out. I'm like, yep, this is gonna be a whole mess. And honestly, I'm probably gonna watch. I'm only watching this to see if she actually goes to France and meets him.
I think she does, didn't? Or were they showing flashbacks? I
I
don't know
don't
why I thought she was
know.
going to France.
Well, she said she's going. I want to see her actually get on the plane, go to the airport, and get to France.
Okay, we're here. We're watching. Leave your comments below. Give us a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Notification bell. Tell a friend. Follow us on social media. I'm interested in all y'all's feedback. Oh, Montana wants Love and Marriage Huntsville. I can't follow that show. You were gonna watch it. Did you ever watch it?
No,
Priscilla.
I'm binging it this week.
Toya, I actually saw this today. It came up on the you might like based on what you're watching. Prisoner of Love on Discovery Plus. Jamal. She's a matchmaker for people on
Uh-huh.
the outside who want to link up with prisoners.
Okay, now I got to check that out. That is I can check that out. What episode are they on? Do you know?
I think 5 or 6.
Oh, I mean we can
Hold
play
on.
catch up.
Yeah. We'll take a look at it. Honestly, I swear I looked at this today because I was like, Prisoner of Love? What is this nonsense? And okay, so I'll add it to the favorites and it should pop up for you as a favorite. Okay.
And just so everyone knows, um, I think we decided we're doing Project Runway this year, right? Have we decided that yet?
I don't know. Is that starting in
I
October?
October. I can't wait. I missed my
Okay.
Project Runway. Oh,
Oh my lord. Okay, so we'll watch.
I
Oh, they're on
but
episode 3. They're on
oh
episode 3. Yeah.
perfect. Oh, not too much
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah. And they're 42-minute long episodes. So
Oh,
not bad.
even better.
Yeah. So we could
Yeah,
watch
that's
the
easy.
first episode at least to see if it's something that we like.
It's just on simple fact. You have a matchmaker for inmates. I mean, hey,
Well, is she the matchmaker for the inmate or is she the matchmaker for the free person?
that's pretty much what I'm interested to find out.
That's crazy. All right, gang. So see you here tomorrow. Wear your prison garb, or bring your baloney, whatever floats your boat, and we will reconvene tomorrow for life after lockup, the never-ending season.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, any final thoughts, Jamal?
No, we're good.
Okay. So, until next time.
Of course.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.